Kevin from Darby Training Systems. Today we're going to be addressing squat depth. This is a challenge that many people work many years to get better with, and it's essential for Olympic lifting, sport performance, and more advanced lifts like the front squat. I'm going to give you a sequence that you can use that will help improve your squat depth. You can do this prior to squatting on a regular basis, and I will guarantee that you will see a difference in your squat depth. First thing, we're going to start with something that I call our frog rocks. Notice that I'm trying to encourage dorsiflexion with my ankle, and from this position I go as wide as I can. I sit back. It's best done in front of a mirror. That way you don't want your back to round. How deep can you go maintaining a neutral spine? At this point I do a positional isometric. I think of pulling my knees together and I'm creating tension through my whole body. I drop down a little bit more. Again, another positional isometric. I'm really trying to pull my knees together while getting that dorsiflexion happening at my ankles. So I drop down as deep as I can without losing that neutral spine position. Another 3 to 5 second positional isometric. From there, I'm going to transition into a hip opener. So from this position, I'm getting internal rotation at my hip. The focus is not driving my knees down to the ground. It's rotating from my hip, and ideally, I should end up with my heel stacked over my knee. If you feel any discomfort in your knee, that will indicate that you're trying to push your knee down to the ground rather than rotate at the hip. So focus on the rotation at the hip, trying to open up the hips. From here, we're going to transition right into a squat position. So go as wide as you need to, and then drop down where you can maintain a neutral spine position. I suggest, if you can, look in a mirror. That way you can monitor your back. Okay, yeah, I'm in a good position there. And from this position, you're going to internally rotate your hip, bringing your knee to the instep of the other foot. You're going to rotate your knee, bringing you're rotating your leg, bringing your knee to the instep of the other leg. That is what the goal of this movement is. Once you've done that, drop down again. I recommend pushing your knees out and just taking a look to make sure that you're maintaining the position that you eventually want to be in. From here, when you rotate in, we're going to do a positional isometric. I push against my hand, I push against my hand, and then I try and squeeze my legs together. Again, different position. I create tension. It's a positional isometric. And I create tension in that bottom position. From here, I'm going to get a kettlebell and bring that kettlebell up into that position. And now I can just focus on maintaining that neutral spine position and holding that kettlebell. This kettlebell is about 20 kilos. I can just hold that position. I can take keeping the knees in the position myself and then firing into a positional isometric, creating as much tension as I can and relaxing. Firing, creating as much tension as I can and relaxing. Firing, creating as much tension, really owning that bottom position and relaxing. Fire, create as much tension as I can, owning that bottom position and relax. And fire, creating as much tension as I can, owning that bottom position and relax. You need about 5 reps there. Again, feel that bottom position. It's your new home. Come on up, and then what we'll do is we'll lock that in dynamically. The way we do that, bounce, 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 drop. Hold the position. Bounce, 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 drop. Hold the position. So remember, you have to be mobile to move, but stable to train.